welcome to Tap Live, everyone.
Make sure your mic is on. We should be able to hear you.
I think it's on.
No, seriously, what are y'all doing in here? This is really pissing me off. Why is everything out?
No, it's not.
Just talk to the audience on here.
All right, everyone. All right, welcome to Tap Live. This is VMC and NYC, and we're brought to you by BrooklynStation.com and KingandQueenRadio.com. Coming to you from Tap Live, this is the second show airing. I just wanted to give you 10 minutes of open communication. Since our last show, I just want to cover the topics that we went over from our last show very quickly. So last week, we introduced the first ever Tap Live show, and we also introduced the cycle of illness, mental health, and addiction. I just want to welcome everyone back and cover the topics that we went over last week. So last week, we not only introduced the cycle, but we also covered the importance of a foundation, having a solid foundation when it comes to structure and basically when it comes to having support. A support system is extremely important when you receive a diagnosis, when you're going to hospitals, and when you're basically dealing with any type of issues in your life. Now, the support system is extremely important for multiple reasons. And when you're dealing with these issues and dealing with other types of issues in your life, even if it's not necessarily affiliated with the cycle, a support system is extremely important because when you're going through any types of issues, this support and this connectivity deals with so much because connection, it kind of makes you feel like you're not alone. Now that's one of the most important things, feeling like you're not alone. Loneliness, that's one thing in itself. I mean, why do you think so many people have to find partners? Why do people feel the need to find partners? Because loneliness can do a lot. I mean, you can't spend your entire life in solitude. We feel the need to connect. I mean, especially if you're going through something and you feel like you're going through it alone, you need to find somebody. I mean, I say need because it's true. You need to find someone who is going through something similar to what you're going through, because you need to be able to find that ability to connect with someone on a level that others cannot. But we're just going briefly over what we went through, what we were discussing last week. If anything, we're going to just discuss those basic topics, and we're going to discuss others. What we're going to talk about later on today, we're going to discuss forms of communication, how to communicate with others, especially children. My basic opinions over other people's opinions, how to communicate with children, whether to or not to. I mean, I have personal opinions about that, so do many others. When it comes to your medical issues, mental health issues, and here at Tap Live, I'll give you the number. It's 718-676-0820. And you can contact us at 718-253-4239 if you have any questions about last week's show, or if you have any questions going forward with our topic of today. All right, so we're just going to go on a quick break, and we're going to go dive in deeper to the discussion later on. All right, thank you so much.
You're listening to BrooklynStation.com.
I am the spiritual doctor, the most famous, gifted to help in all problems of life, specializing reunite lovers, friends, soulmates. I work with the spirits of the dead and the living. I give you those lucky numbers you've been waiting for. I have something that will give you a spirit that will help you conquer things that you want to conquer. I have those stones, those magic stones, those lucky stones that you've been looking for. And also, guess what? I have something can do house clearance. You having troubles in your house? That's right. You need to get something to give your house a house clearance. Don't worry no more if you have an immigration problems, because I help many of people solve cases every day. That's immigration problems, also court cases. Don't be disappointed for the loved one that behind bars, because I work with the spirit can help them and release them from prison. That's right, you're having problems getting a job. I remove the evil from your life so you can get a job and be able to have money and be able to do some of the things that you would love to do in life. I foresee the future events. I also helped a lot of celebrities. I can clear impossible problems. Some of those problems are depression, substance abuse, jinx, and demonic forces. You want to have success in business? One call will convince you. One call will convince you. 718-253-7273. 718-253-7273. 718-253-7273. One call will convince you. Good evening.
Welcome back to TAP Live. This is VMC and NYC, your host Veronica. If you want, you could definitely follow the ABLE Project. That's what TAP stands for, the ABLE Project. You could definitely follow us on social media, definitely Instagram, hashtag the ABLE Proj. Also, our website is theableproj.org. The TAP Live is sponsored by www.brooklynstation.com and kingandqueenradio.com. So we were just discussing what we were covering last week, which was structure and foundation. But what we're going to be discussing this week, I'm just going to briefly go over what we're going to be discussing this week, which is communication. Communication is extremely important, especially when it comes to your personal life, who's important to you in your life, such as children, your family members and friends. But there are so many different forms of communication. Like this October, there is a lot of things going on in the season, in the fall. A lot of people are celebrating the holiday. The upcoming holiday is Halloween. So one thing I've seen and I've noticed is everybody's painting their pumpkins. So painting their pumpkins, like I grew up with people carving, but people are painting their pumpkins, which is really, really interesting. Now, me personally, I don't know if many people remember or have been following since the first TAP, which was just last week. I was not born with, but I wound up developing, or I don't know exactly how it came about, but I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I became 16 years old. So I know what I'm going to do with my pumpkin when I paint it. I'm going to actually paint it purple. And I've noticed that a lot of people are painting their pumpkins to spread awareness. So I think that's really, really cool. I mean, a lot of people who have had family members diagnosed and actually persevered through breast cancer, especially because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month for October, people are painting their pumpkins pink, which is really, really cool. So, I mean, I definitely suggest anybody who has persevered or suffered through, or even are still struggling through a diagnosis, I suggest that people spread the awareness, paint your pumpkins, carve them, even spread a hashtag, which is still going through because it's the thing nowadays. I suggest you spread the awareness even through the holidays, because I mean there are still positive ways to put a spin on what you're going through, because you have to let people know that, I mean, even if it's something that not many people know about, there's a ribbon for it. I mean, I believe me, I mean, even though I have epilepsy, there are people who are learning way more about it now than when I was first diagnosed. And that's because of celebrities who are sharing about it. I mean, Harrison Ford's daughter has epilepsy, and I didn't know about that until recently shared in news. So I'm telling you, spread your awareness, paint your pumpkins, let people know about it, and it's really good. It's a really healthy way to, if somebody comes up and asks, oh, why is your pumpkin purple? Or why is your pumpkin pink? Why is your pumpkin green? It's a good way to let people know. So, and especially because sometimes kids will ask. It's really, really healthy way to just, share your awareness. Also, I just want to let people know and let people know ahead of time that the tap hour is going to be streamed Thursday at 4:30. After the break, we're going to get deeper into our discussion. We're going to be breaking down ways to communicate. And that's going to be the topic we're going to be discussing after the break. So come back and tune in, okay? See you then.
You're listening to BrooklynStation.com.
Road right now? Do you feel lonely, depressed, and happy down on your luck? Do you want to change your life?
Don't give up. Ladies and gentlemen, African reader and advisor Sister Dubon is here to guarantee that in as little as 24 hours, just one day, you gain peace, love, health, and prosperity. Call 718-253-7273. That number again is 718-253-7273.
Are you unhappy with your marriage or love life? Separated from your loved ones? Have problems with luck? Problems on the job? With immigration, examinations, or even court cases? Can't hold money? Or do you have a strange sickness? Call Sister Dubon now. 718-253-7273. Help is just a phone call away. African reader and advisor Sister Dubon can help solve all problems of life. Do not confuse her with any other psychics or readers you have been to before. If she can't help you, then no one else can. This woman of God does what others claim to do.
Don't let time or distance keep you away. This God-gifted spiritualist brings you solutions to the mysteries of the Deep South. Sister Dubon is located in Brooklyn, New York. Call now and turn your life around. 718-253-7273 for one free question by phone.
And don't give up.
You're listening to BrooklynStation.com.
All right, welcome back to Tap Live, everyone. So, what we're going to be discussing today is breaking down ways to communicate. All right, so Tap Live is brought to you by KingandQueenRadio.com and BrooklynStation.com. What we're going to do is talk about breaking a member of the cycle. But when you have to communicate this to people who are what I like to call outside the cycle of addiction, mental health, illness, this could be tough. Now, what I was trying to focus on last week was discussing this with children. Now, there's a reason why I think it's so important to discuss this with children. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. She explained to me that she thinks it's not good to tell her children that she has any types of issues because she wants her children to think that she's a superhero. Now, this kind of got me a little upset, and she may not understand why. I think it's upsetting because why should a superhero not have any problems? What people consider problems, as in, for example, my perfect example of a superhero, Daredevil. Daredevil was blind, but that made him so much more powerful. And I loved it. That's like my favorite superhero because guess what? Sometimes a person's impairments, or what others, the people outside the cycle, consider impairments, make people inside the cycle so much more stronger. And a lot of people don't realize that. And I explain this to people who are, to children, to others inside the cycle. Because when you explain to your children that you have these complications, people get up off the couch or do certain things, it does give you a certain perception that others do not have. And it's a beautiful thing. And the best part about it is that when you explain it to your children, there are so many ways to break down forms of communication. Like, for example, facial expressions, gestures, using hands, writing, drawing, equipment, touch, eye contact. The best part about that is that children have these minds that adults don't just yet. And when you start explaining what it is that makes you different, it helps children at young ages understand that being different is a beautiful thing. So, one thing that I already love about explaining to children, especially children who ask me, oh, what is epilepsy? Or what's this? Or what's that? I love explaining it to them because I think it's great practice. On top of that, I explain it on a regular basis. Like, for example, when I've had to explain it to my husband, when I've had to explain it to other friends, I've learned over time that the more that you have to explain your so-called complications, or what's believed by, like I say, people outside of the cycle, what is believed to be, and I hate the word disability, I do hate that word. The more that you explain it, the more you develop an understanding that it's not an inability. It's a matter of perception. It's a way that you see the world. And the thing is that there are some people who are limited, but there are some people that, even though they are limited, they are able to see things in a way that others aren't. Even people who have suffered from addiction, that actually gives them a perception on life that others don't have. Your struggles cause you to see things that others don't see. And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I personally love the fact that people have histories and pasts and abilities or inabilities, and I love using quotations on that because, I mean, all this verbiage, it drives me nuts. Going based on the communication, and that's, keep in mind, when it comes to American Sign Language, that has to be my favorite sign because communication does go both ways. when you have to communicate what it is that you feel has to be explained, you have to also understand that the person on the other side, that's why I love using this sign. It means that it has to go both ways. So you have to put yourself in the other person's position whenever you're trying to explain your symptoms, your diagnosis, even your addiction. You have to explain it in a way that the other person can understand. And you also have to be very sensitive to how you're explaining it. That's why I always use children as an example, because children are the best practice. Like, if you have to be sensitive to a child when explaining your symptoms, your diagnosis, and even your addiction, you have to be sensitive to an adult as well, because you have to tiptoe. Unfortunately, you do, because the thing is that these things cannot be absorbed as easily as you think. I mean, keep in mind, you're the one going to the doctor all the time. You're the one that is constantly seeing the therapist or constantly receiving the medication. And same thing with addiction. You're the one going to the meetings. You're the one that's suffering with the problem. And unfortunately, the person that you're explaining these issues to lives their life the way that they do. And that's why whenever, for example, I love American Sign Language for that reason, because it's visual. And I believe that's something that should be studied early on, and it should be more often than not. Because, for example, communication, same thing with perception. And I always look at perception in a completely different way. Like for example, when you have to actually symbolically look at people, that person's there, and that person's there, it actually gives you a perception like, okay, that person's there, and you actually ideally think about it that way. When you're communicating, you actually have to understand that these people are completely different. So that's why it's so wonderful, and it brings me back to breaking down ways to communicate. Facial expression, gestures, using hands, writing, drawing, equipment, touch, eye contact. These are all sensitive things, and understanding ways to express how, who, what, where, when, why. I mean, a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, do I have to do all that? Oh, I know about all that. But guess what? When you're getting in a heavy discussion and you're all upset and your emotions in there, try to stop and think. Guess what? I'm dealing with so much, but this person is hearing about this for the first time, or maybe they don't even realize what I'm going through, or they're not in my shoes, just like you're not in theirs. And I'm only saying this in a way where we're the ones that are going to the doctors. We're the ones taking the medications. We're the ones that are going and doing the meetings or dealing with the addiction the way that we're doing it. And the thing is that I'm saying that in a matter of perception. And it is because of that I'm stating that we need to understand that when you're discussing this with another person, remember, your eyes, you're the one that's reaching out the hand, and you're the one that's vocalizing. So take a breath before you reach out and state what you're stating, and remember what you're trying to get out of this communication. If you want them to understand where you're coming from, remember what it is that you're trying to get back. If you want them to understand, let them walk with you in your shoes. Let them go with you to a doctor's appointment. Let them actually see your list of pills. Let them actually walk with you in your shoes as best as you can. Same thing with them. If you want them to do that, you'd have to do the same with them and walk with them in their shoes. And be as much as reciprocating with the communication as possible. Because do unto others as you want them to do unto you, and that's the best you can do when it comes to communication. As you would sit with the child and break it down as slowly as possible. And I love analogies. That's why I like analogies, because like I'm doing all this, I'm doing it the same way I would with children. Because you do it slow and steady, because that's what you have to do, because this is overwhelming for us. But sometimes that's what you have to do with an adult or a parent or a loved one or a friend. It's slow and steady. And as overwhelming as it is with our lives, we have to still do it slow and steady with the people that we love. But I'm going to touch base I'm going to touch base more on this when we come back from the break, all right?
I'm attorney Kurt Robertson. I'm a personal injury lawyer here in New York. And if you've been injured in an accident, you should call me. I'll get you the money you deserve. Just dial 929-438-5878. That's 929-GET-KURT. 929-GET-KURT. That's 929-438-5878. It's easy. Got hurt? Call Kurt, and I'll get you the money you deserve.
You're listening to BrooklynStation.com.
Tap Live, brought to you by KingandQueenRadio.com and BrooklynStation.com. If you want to touch base with me and contact me about the discussion, you can call us at 718-676-0820, or you can call us at 718-253-4239. So we were just discussing forms of communication. I was explaining that it's really healthy to discuss your medical issues, not only with your family members, but especially your children. Now, as I said, I was discussing this with a friend of mine who thought that it was not good to discuss her medical issues with her children. Now, everybody has their own opinions, and I definitely feel it is up to you. You are definitely up to make your own opinions, and it's definitely your choice. But I feel as members of the cycle of illness, mental health, and addiction, which is who I'm definitely targeting with this message, I do believe that it is healthy to discuss these with your family members, especially with particularly your children, so that they could grow up with the knowledge that you can be superheroes, knowing that despite any illnesses, medical health issues, or even addictions that you may have, you can be open and honest with your family members, and you could still be superheroes, and you can all fight together. And the best support that you can have could be with your family members, because anytime that you keep secrets within the family, all it does is just cause more problems and mental health issues even further. That's the only reason why I'm supporting open communication within families. So that's one thing, and that's a key ingredient. Of course, different ages, that makes sense. I mean, the younger they are, of course, it's more difficult. But I do support an open communication within families. So we're just touching base on that very quickly. You can definitely contact us here on TAP. You can contact us at any point on Instagram, #TheAbleProj. You can also contact our website at www.theableproj.org. We were discussing earlier that we were hoping that people could support their causes by painting pumpkins, which is great to do with kids. So if you already have your pumpkins carved or if you already have them painted, definitely take pictures and share them with our Instagram. You can also do it with King and Queen Radio and BrooklynStation.com, but share them with us on social media. We definitely want to take a look. The Able Project is totally interested in sharing their pumpkins. I'm definitely painting mine, and I would love to see everybody else's on my feed. So that's a little project you can do. Even if they're little ones, paint them. It's so much fun. Spread the awareness and share them with everyone. We totally want to see what you have. But I'm just going to touch base on next week's topic. So I was discussing people that were outside the cycle. What I'm going to do is have a huge discussion about how people are indirectly affected by the cycle. Basically, the families, friends, and everyone who is indirectly affected by the cycle, and how everybody outside the cycle is actually connected. So that's going to be the topic for next week. I'm going to touch base on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little time for anybody who wants to call in. And I'm just going to end that in with a little time for that. But if anybody's interested in contacting us, again, the number here is 718-676-0820. And you can also contact us at 718-253-4239. All right, I'm just going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back to Tap Live in a bit.
When it comes to help in spiritual matters beyond the norm, no one comes close to the international, world-renowned spiritual healer and advisor, Sister Dubon.
Are you suffering? Do you have bad luck? Do you feel you need some help? Well, there is help now. Don't give up. I am Sister Dubon, a spiritual reader and advisor for many, many years, and I really want to get the job done. If you're having problems with your loved one, maybe you're having problems with money, maybe you're having court cases, well, I'm the one you need to call. You're sitting there thinking, where should I go? Or maybe you're going somewhere and not getting spiritual help. You call me now, Sister Dubon, and I can help you. Call me. 718-253-7273. Yes, you heard it. Get on that phone now and call now. 718-253-7273. I've been working more than 40 years and getting results. Now it's your time. Try me out. Don't listen to what others say. Try me now and you won't be disappointed. Call now. One free question by phone.
You're listening to BrooklynStation.com.
So we were discussing breaking down ways to communicate, and we're going to tie that in with next week. So basically, the ways to communicate with everybody, we were discussing American Sign Language. That was tying in. My favorite sign I mentioned was communication. Now, American Sign Language is beautiful language. And also, there are so many different things and outlets that people can do. And there's also so many different things that people can do when it comes to communicating with their family, friends, and everybody within the household. But when it comes to outside the household, there's hobbies, there's also things that people can do when they're trying to get together with everyone. That's why I brought up the painting pumpkins and things like that. But that's why when it comes to developing forms of communication, it's healthy. So when I was explaining to everyone about how to communicate, there's not necessarily a binder or some strict thing to do. So I just want to specify that all these things are just suggestions. So moving forward, if you come up with any ideas, make sure to contact us. Anything that you do going forward, you can also contact my website, www.theableproj.org. I want to hear your stories. If you come up with any ideas, if you get any type of stories developed, or if you have any past history developed with the cycle, please contact me. I'm very interested in stories. I'm developing my blog moving forward, and here on the radio, you can definitely contact me. If you're interested, you can even remain anonymous. I want to make sure that is strict moving forward. You can definitely contact me, and my blog is being developed now, so stay tuned. You can also text. That's something that I was just informed. You can text us here at Brooklyn Station at 347-699-6892. You don't necessarily have to call in. There's a lot of people that probably don't feel like they want to communicate with telephone. You can actually text. So that's something you can look forward to in the future. And we look forward to hearing from our members. And we're going to be doing a lot of things with this show. We're going to have a lot of people come on the show, and it's going to be great. So there's going to be a lot of things going forward with the holidays. But right now we have the pumpkins, which is great. And any other creative ideas that you have. Anything to spread awareness, please share it with us on Instagram, hashtag the Able Proj. We also have a Twitter account, which is Proj_Able. You can also find Brooklyn Station and King and Queen Radio. It's on the websites. I would really look forward to hearing back from everybody. Definitely stay tuned and stay connected. And the Tap Hour is going to be streamed this Thursday at 4:30. So we look forward to hearing from everybody, and we look forward to having you watch our live stream. So look forward to hearing from you guys then. Again, this is VMC and NYC, your host, Veronica. It was a pleasure, everyone. So you have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you guys next week. See you then.
You're listening to BrooklynStation.com. BrooklynStation.com.
Woo! through a problem with relationship with my fiance. You brought us back together. He leave, you bring him back home. We are so good and happy together. Was also going through a problem with my immigration. They report me to immigration. I went today and do my interview. They say they are making a decision. I'll hear from them in a couple of days. Thank you so much, Sister Dubang. And I would like everyone to come and visit Sister Dubang, whosoever have a problem, at 1752 Flatbush Avenue. She's good, I'm telling you, she helped me in a lot of ways with me and my daughter, and also taking care of my son right now. Thank you so much, Sister Dubang. God bless you.
You're listening to BrooklynStation.com. You're listening to BrooklynStation.com. You're listening to BrooklynStation.com.
Attorney Kurt Robertson. I'm a personal injury lawyer here in New York, and if you've been injured in an accident, you should call me. I'll get you the money you deserve. Just dial 929-438-5878. That's 929-GET-KURT. 929-GET-KURT. That's 929-438-5878. It's easy. Got hurt? Call Kurt, and I'll get you the money you deserve.
You're listening to BrooklynStation.com. BrooklynStation.com.